Aloha, and welcome to nighttime mode on my computer? On my phone? Why am I so fat? Oh, I remember because in the month of January, I had a manic depressive episode, and then I drank a lot to try to calm down. And then I went to a psychiatric hospital. And now I'm back. Sitting here by candlelight and gonna pull a tarot card. That's gonna be a private matter that we'll talk about later. But last couple of days have been incredible. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of tea here. Sunday, best Sunday ever. Got up, my friend, really really great friend of mine who's helped me through a lot over the last couple of years. She said, "Let's go rock climbing." I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go rock climbing. She said, "First, we're gonna go do some yoga. The rock climbing gym has yoga." So we went and did Ashtanga yoga. And I did not know what Ashtanga yoga was. I still don't know what Ashtanga yoga is. I know the dude who did it was like as flexible, more flexible than a yoga mat, like rolled up. And it was a lot of like poses on. I think there's like maybe a series that is always followed in Ashtanga yoga. And we did, so you do like right side of the body and left side of the body, or left and then right, and 1,000 chaturangas in between. So it's a vinyasa, but they're complicated vinyasas. And then the series has like an A, a B, a C, and a D pose even. And in between each and every single one of them, you do a chaturanga, vinyasa, down dog, and then a jump through. Which is great because I need to work on my jump throughs. I feel like my Stanley thermos is not keeping beverages as warm now as it had in the past. It's really strange. I don't think I cracked it or broke it or anything, but it just seems like, I don't know. So then we did yoga, and then after, the plan was to rock climb with another friend, and we were exceptionally tired. Like I was shaking. I had no balance. I didn't know that yoga could take that much out of me, and I didn't know that it did take that much out of me. And my other friend, his arm was hurting a little bit. So the plan was, after that, was to go to brunch, and we accelerated that plan because we were all tired. So we go to brunch, call another friend, his girlfriend, they come along, and then he suggests, let's go hiking afterwards. So we go hiking to this waterfall, bring my snorkel, it was great, splash around, bloop, 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 bloop. Water is so crystal cold clear. And then I was like, oh my god, we got to go jump in the ocean. Then we'll do all the things today. So then we jumped in the ocean. Then we went and got some food at the local like healthy market, and then played board games. And we had a hot tub at my friend's apartment. So it was just, and then I got a cuddle afterwards. So best Sunday ever. I felt like, this is the type of life that I want. To live life courageously, to live life freely, to live life funly, to enjoy life, to not sit in my room and order fucking Uber Eats and whack off and, do whippets and whatever else. I don't want that. And gain weight. You know, when I went into the hospital, I was like 179 pounds, and I just got back from Target. I knew some of it was swelling, or I hoped some of it was swelling. I actually thought that I was going to be heavier than I am. The scale read 169.5 just now. That's in the evening, so in the morning I'd expect to be 168 or 167 even. So not quite 10 pounds that I need to lose, but a good 7. And I had maybe put on a little bit of weight, trying to build muscle in November and December, and I was eating more. So I expect that number to be, I thought I was going to be a lot heavier. So my work isn't as challenging as I thought it was going to be, but it's still challenging. Now, that being said, I didn't lose all of my strength, and I thought that I did. And today I rock climbed all the easy routes, and except for there's this one like cave easy route that I didn't do, and then I did 1, 2, 3, 4, like four routes on an auto belay, and then 2 of the next level courses. So 2 or 3 of the next level courses. So that felt great. Did a couple pull-ups, and then I taught the same friend who took me to Yoga from Hell, Ashtanga yoga. I taught her how to swim, and she's getting ready to take a scuba diving course, and also really wants to learn how to swim. And she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I can even swim 200 meters," and I had her swim 500, actually probably like 550. So we did really good. Having the rest of some protein shake and some berries from this morning. I don't know why I thought it would be better to make a deconstructed smoothie to smooth the protein shake, and then add the frozen berries, and then add the whatever. Deconstructed smoothies, not a good thing. So, why is this tea still not warm? I made it this morning. Oh my god! It's because I didn't put the cap on. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, and then so I taught her how to swim, and maybe we probably 500, at least 500 meters. So she feels really good about that, and she's gonna go buy a new snorkel and goggles, because dear God, hers sucks so bad. So that'll be good. She'll be awesome for her diving class, and then I went to yoga, and I love this yoga teacher. He's very informed. He's knows all the yoga, and he's taught for many years. He's very, very in tune with himself. Like he takes his practice very seriously. His fiance does sound healings, so it was 60 minutes of yoga, 15 minutes of sound healing, and it kicked my ass, but it felt really, really great to be back. I also don't know why I purchased 500 million pastique liqueur. Maybe because I wanted to learn French, and now I know the word for watermelon. Pamplemousse? No, pastique. We'll figure it out. There's way too many of these. If you would like a watermelon LaCroix, comment below and subscribe. You can have all of them. Like 3 cases. but the most part of the day was really, really fantastic. The first part as well. I got caught up on a lot of adulting, bill paying, university, communication with friends. Has some trouble with my car, so I was working on that. What else did I do? Moved some stuff. Ant baited and roach baited my house inside and out, which needed to do because it is that season in Hawaii. And just felt really freaking accomplished today. Like, and then that brings us to the real point of the story, which is what happened yesterday.
I just got a message from a really beautiful old friend
who broke up with me years ago when I did some type of ketamine shit, and she didn't know where I was addiction wise and mental health wise, and they didn't know how to react, and kind of disowned me as friends, which was a really tough time in my life, because it was me and these two beautiful women, and we did all the things together. Well, not all the things, but I wanted to do all the things. We did sleep together, just in the same bed, and it really felt amazing. I think in another universe, or if I had been in a different place in my life, maybe a little bit more courageous, something could have happened. We could have had a relationship together. But she's anyway. So I'm very glad to still have the friends that I have now, especially after all of my mental health issues. They've somehow still stuck by me. But yesterday, Monday, Monday afternoon, I picked up my surfboard. It was being repaired. I walked it home. I was going to take a nap, and then I was like, I don't need to take a nap, and a friend called, and she wanted to talk for like an hour, and we did, and that was great. And I went for a run. So I went for a 2.6 mile run yesterday, and I walked about 4.7 miles. And yesterday morning, my therapist put me in touch with a healer. So there's this school, it's like Barbara Brennan's School of Healing or something like that. Maybe that's what I'll title the video. Thanks, Barbara Brennan. And a graduate of that school came to Hawaii, started a thing. And you go to you're at a magical place when out front of the person's house there's a crown tree or a crown bush with like monarch butterfly caterpillars munching on the leaves, and monarchs like flying around. The woman said she got it for her granddaughter or her grandchild or something like that. Why do we self-sabotage? What causes us to self-sabotage? Is this an internal family system part? Is it a demon? Is there a possession? When I was super high on whippets, I tried to do some things and call some people, and that was really out of character for me. And then afterward, I drank, and I smoked some pot, and I got really low, and then I wake up in this psychiatric hospital, and it's like the last possible day. I mean, I woke up on Groundhog Day, like literally. And it was like something in me was trying to self-sabotage, my future with university. And it was like I was reliving this pattern all over again, and I was never gonna escape it. And I'm glad my friends were there, and they helped me escape it. When I was on the phone with my therapist when I was psychotic, I was actually on the phone with book 2 of my therapist while I was psychotic. And didn't know if they were real or not, or anything was real. I have this thing in my eye that I'm going to get cut out tomorrow for the second time. It's like a squamous cell something, or a caruncle, who knows what it's called. I don't know, Google it. Louise Hayes wrote a book that, physical manifestations of illness are actually because of emotional distress. And in the case of my eye, maybe it is, and it came back, an inability to see joy in the future. And so the affirmation for that is, the future is or like time is eternal, or the future is filled with like eternal joy, something like that. And so I go into the house with the 2 healers. The healer that my therapist put me in touch with said that he wasn't going to do the healing alone. That would have been too much for him. So she brought in this woman too, and I shared with them some things that have happened over the last 10, 15, 20, 25, 35 years in my life. And the Charlie that I had been dealing with, that I had been meditating with, was like 5 to 7 years old, let's say, in my internal family systems work, in my parts work. And if you had set a camera up in the corner of the room and recorded the session without any context, or if this had been, 100 years ago, for example, 200 years ago, 50 years ago, even, someone looking at that video, would maybe think, wow, that guy is possessed. And so it's hard to define what exactly happened. I will say this. In that hour of the actual healing session, and my friend disagrees with this. He doesn't understand. One of the things that I would try to do when I was drinking or using whippets or using drugs would be to emote and to cathart. And there's only so much that I can do with that with laughter therapy. And laughter can bring out like a manic side of me anyway. And so, I would take some substance in order to try to feel. And my therapist is like, you probably have complex PTSD. As a neglected child, how do you keep yourself safe? It's hard for you to regulate your emotions. How many years I searched Google and thought I was a sociopath or a narcissist. I did have some narcissistic tendencies before that I got rid of, but jokingly, my my ex-girlfriend thought I was a narciopath. But the challenge was I just couldn't open up and share my emotions. It's very, very hard even to cry. And so I'm doing these things to try to feel and cry and emote and cathart. And it was so just in that hour, I basically reverted to me as a baby being in that hallway, that dark, dark hallway, crying and nobody coming to pick me up and afraid of what was in that darkness, which totally encapsulates my life. Afraid of the future, afraid of what's in store, afraid of the unknown. And then nobody's there to help me, and I don't know how to help myself, and I don't know how to do it. And of course I do, as an adult, know how to do it. And so some of the reparenting exercises that I had done with myself, I was reparenting again that 5 to 7 year old. I had forgotten about that hallway. I had forgotten about the babyhood neglect. And so I picked myself up and I swaddled myself and I put myself in like a little Bjorn backpack thing, and now I'm walking through the woods with my baby me, taking care of my baby me and loving my baby me, and being the father and the mother that my parents never could be for me, because they had their own shit and whatever. And of course I didn't know this, but I realized after the session that what I was doing with the alcohol was exactly what my mother was doing with my father. She was depressed and she didn't know where to turn to, and so she would just sleep. She would eat and she would sleep. And then I found her dead on a couch. She never woke up. I came home from a scholarship competition, so proud and happy, when I was 17, and no one to share it with. And so the women in my life tend to be motherly type figures. And the men in my life tend to be the better version of men. I was afraid to be around men for so long, and I was afraid to be in my own power for so long. And now it feels possible to be in my own power. Now it feels possible to be the type of man that I need to be for myself and for my community and for my friends. Because in that hour, I got a chance to scream and cry and claw and grunt and growl through all of my anger, through all of my depression, through all of my tears, blubbering, sobbing, shaking. I left my body. My manic side came out in laughter. The energy healers helped me bring my energy back into my body, bring it back down from my head to my heart, to my chest, to my abdomen, to my diaphragm, down through my legs, and into my feet, and into the ground. Which is something I had been working on in December, which was like ultimate grounding. And yeah, I feel free. I could barely walk afterward. Stumbling. Could barely stand. I went and looked in the mirror. I did look different. I'm shaking, twitching. My mouth is still kind of crying. Stumble out of the place. Walk down it's way up on this hill. If I get about 400 meters from the house. And this is how funny the universe is. Like, if you don't believe in this stuff, you don't have to believe in this stuff. But the stuff is real. Like, sure, our minds find patterns. But I really think the universe tests us. I really think the universe wants us to be the best that we can be. Well, it's funny, in the room as well, she asked me, she was like, what can you do to get in touch with your left brain or your left side creative? I remember sitting in the bathtub when I was young, really, really young, and thinking, like, which side of my body is my dominant side? Which side is my good side? Which side is my bad side? Which side am I gonna, have my dominant hand to be? And I remember sitting there and choosing my left hand, which is very confusing for me. And I chose logic over emotion. I'm not saying that one side of the brain is logical and one side of the brain is creative. That's not how it really works. But one side of the brain does control one side of the body, and one side of the other. And over the last couple of years, I've started writing with my right hand. And I bought a fountain pen that I love. It's got purple ink in it. And I bought it right before I got my right before I had my interview for my university. I got a sexy journal, to write goals and doctor stuff in. But Sunday evening, actually Saturday evening as well, I was writing in my journal and I realized, holy shit, when I write with my right hand, not only do I slow down, but it's actually my emotional side. And I started laughing because because she asked me that question. She could feel the imbalance in my brain. She could feel the imbalance in my energy and in my focus. And I, and I was laughing and crying at the same time. And I told her, I said, I've been writing with my right hand. I've been journaling with my right hand because that's my true emotion. 400 meters away from that house. 400. You know what I found on the ground? A fucking Whippet canister. Let that soak in. I am a mile above the city on the side of a mountain, 400 meters from a healing house, 20 minutes after receiving a healing that allowed me to cathart everything that I wanted to. And I see a symbol of what my therapist said was a possession when she was on the phone with me. I have never seen one of those outside of my house, outside of a drug dealer or my friend's house. You know, my friend. That lightly. People that I know, house. In a former life. Right after, getting the death card. So, rebirth, rejuvenation, renewal, new chance at life. Only 169.5 pounds. Didn't lose all of my strength. I got rid of my fucking demon computer. Today, I smashed 5 or 7 old cell phones. And threw them away. So I need to take out the trash, but yeah. A fucking Whippet on the side of the mountain. In a great fucking neighborhood. What the hell? So, signs from the universe. The universe wants you to do better. I am doing better. I feel so much release. And I feel like I have a new lease on life. I feel so much freer. And I was so tired that day. Today I was a little bit tired too, but I didn't go home and sleep. I didn't run away. I faced what I needed to face, and I did what I needed to do. And I feel like I broke 39 years of a fucking curse. So, Have a beautiful evening.